That, Hadley, what are some of the keys of the game for Clark Central tonight going up against North Oconee?
Clark Central is really going to have to focus on using the talent they do have. They have a few standout players. We mentioned Zay Brown. We mentioned Jack Mangle. Really players that have really been definitely standouts for the season. They haven't had the best season, but if they really focus on, they really just stay focused on their strengths and making sure Jack Mangle is hitting Reggie Smothers. He's been his favorite target thus far this season, and he's really made some key passes and some key completions that they really need to keep focusing on. For North Oconee, they're also going to be focusing on just defense a lot. They have scored a lot of. They have had a lot of points scored against their defense. Last game it was Cedar Shoals 40-7. Clearly their defense was struggling with holding back the running team and holding back the passing team. So we're hoping this time that we can really see both teams show out and really give their best game.
Right, and I believe the stat was that North Oconee is starting 7 sophomores on defense tonight. That's quite a young team and quite the rebuilding process for head Coach Tooley. I'm sure that they're going to want to be getting the ball to the running back Jermaine Browner. You said something about him scoring all 3 touchdowns for North Oconee so far this year?
Yes, 3 touchdowns total. They've only scored 1 per game, but Jermaine Browner has been the lone scorer of those.
Dog fans are still licking their wounds from Saturday's heartbreaking loss to Tennessee. But Georgia does have a chance to redeem themselves on Saturday against South Carolina. But football isn't the only sport taking on the Gamecocks this weekend. Women's equestrian and volleyball are both playing South Carolina on Saturday. The Bulldog-Gamecock rivalry was born in 1990 when the Gamecocks joined the SEC. But prior to this, Georgia's biggest competition in the Carolinas was Clemson. But nowadays, the USC-UGA matchup is a must-win for each team. And historically, this matchup often determines who will win the SEC East. In football, Georgia leads the overall wins 48-18, with the latest victory over the Gamecocks in 2015, 52-20. That victory at Sanford Stadium tied the 1970 record for most points ever scored against South Carolina. The equestrian team faced South Carolina last year 3 times in 2015. They won 1 and lost the other 2. Friday's matchup will kick off the official 2016 season for the equestrian team. Now in volleyball, the Bulldogs fell to the Gamecocks 3-0 the last time they played each other in October of last year. UGA has lost 4 out of their last matches, so Friday's matchup is a must-win for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, you have to give Clark Central credit. They didn't roll over. They didn't They didn't lay on the ground when adversity faced them. They kept fighting, made it all the way back to a 4-point match. However, were unable to finish it at the end as Loganville was just a little too strong. Great match by both sides.
Yeah, you're right. And, looking at these stats now, both teams had 17 kills. And their attack percentage was much better for Loganville. It was 18% versus -2 for Clark Central. And I think that played a big role in the way that this game turned out. And if you look at their total errors, Clark Central had 28 and Loganville only had 14.
That's extremely interesting. Looking at those stats, they really kind of do tell the story. Teams were very well balanced on offense, but very unbalanced in the unforced errors.